Among the questions voters will see on their ballot for the spring election is a referendum on something called Marsys Law, and it would change the Wisconsin state constitution. News 19's Mike Biermeister is here to tell you what that change would mean. Mike.
Scott, in short, Marsys Law looks to expand crime victims' rights. It first appeared on a California ballot back in 2008 and has made its way around the nation. In this spring election, voters will choose whether or not those changes will be added to the Wisconsin Constitution.
Wisconsin voters will see Marsys Law on their ballot, which is a set of rights for crime victims that would be added to the state constitution.
The most important thing for victims is understanding that they already do have many of these rights in the Wisconsin statutes. This strengthens it a little bit and gives them a little bit bigger voice in a court case.
The amendment features 14 specific rights provided to crime victims, like being present at all court proceedings and the chance for the victim to speak in any hearing.
One is it allows victims to have standing in court, meaning they could actually appear in a court case to try to enforce their rights. And the other thing is it moves it into the Constitution instead of just statutory law, so a little bit more protection for victims than what they currently have.
13 states have already voted in Marsys Law, however, 2 have overturned it. Wisconsin is the only state in 2020 to have Marsys Law on the ballot. Opposition to the amendment sees the verbiage on the ballot as vague.
I think the critics of the passage think, one, that the actual language of the measure that you're voting on doesn't really reflect the reality of what's included in the actual bill.
Other opponents, like the Wisconsin ACLU, say that the victim's rights cannot be equated to the rights of the accused because they serve very different roles.
The issue is that it has to do with the way the system actually operates, and it affects the system as a whole and potentially creates problems.
Last year, Marsys Law passed in the Wisconsin State Senate 27-5 and 82-15 in the State Assembly to make it onto the ballot. Voters will choose a yes or no vote. So, Scott, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Wisconsin became the first state in the nation to adopt a crime victim bill of rights back in 1980.